I appreciate that. We got a clip coming up, and it's basically some feedback from people that have used the American Legion's facilities and representation to get claims settled. And take a look.
In Williamson County, there are 6 full-time service officers, 2 Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs officers, and 1 each for the American Legion, DAV, AMVETS, and VFW.
I didn't even know when I got out of Vietnam. I was in Vietnam 1966, 1967, and I really had no idea that the VA was there for me. I just didn't know it. I thought it was for wounded veterans and people that had lost arms and legs and Purple Heart people. And slowly I got an education from other veterans that, yeah, you could be eligible for some things. Well, my health deteriorated about 6 years ago, and up until then I was fairly healthy, but I got that type 2 diabetes and a few other things, and I came down and got enrolled in the VA, and somebody said, well, why don't you go see a service officer? What's a service officer? I think there's an awful lot of Vietnam veterans out there, and maybe other veterans, that don't know what a service officer does. Your magazine, the American Legion magazine and the VFW magazine, yours has just as many articles about Agent Orange and Vietnam vets and those kinds of things. I look forward to reading that to see what's in it for me, or what are they doing for vets. And I'm pleased to tell you that if anybody's in the Legion or the VFW, if they read those magazines, that they would get much better education about the types of services that are available. Well, anyway, I went back and talked to Rick, and he said, I think we might be able to help you. Well, we did some paperwork, and we sent it in, and waited, and waited, and waited. And it seemed like it would take forever. It's frustrating, just probably as frustrating for him as it was for me. But over a period of time, when I'd come down and talk to him and say, how's this going, or how's that going, Rick knows those things. He knows all the little nuances, all the people, all the things that you need to know. I would have been lost if I would have had to do that myself, and I feel sorry for guys that don't take advantage of guys like Rick, who know their way around a little bit. Last summer, I finally made it through and got approved for a disability for my Agent Orange type 2 diabetes. I never got that, never got there without Rick's help with the American Legion. So, education, and to this very day, I find veterans, I'll ask them, well, when were you in Vietnam? What branch were you in? Are you aware that there's things available through the VA and service-connected disabilities? You got any medical problems with? Every now and then I run into somebody, no, that ain't for me. That's for guys that were thought just like I did. That was for wounded veterans, amputees, guys that got Purple Hearts. So I'm very pleased. Did a real nice job. I'd highly recommend him, and I'm going to send as many vets as I can find that need to avail themselves of these opportunities, whether it's the VA or the Legion or a service officer. I've got a much better education now. And I'm able to help other veterans. So that's what that guy's all about. He likes to help veterans, and I appreciate that. He did a lot for me, and I thank him and thank the Legion.
We didn't know that this was available to us. The other thing is that I am in group therapy, so I'm exposed usually twice a month to an average of 15 fellas. And Rick is exceptional. If you could weed out some of the people that don't do his job anywhere near as well as him, you would be helping a lot of veterans too. The frustration that I hear from some of my buddies, well, I'm passing on what Rick has taught me and done for me. So I tell them how to get into these books and how to read them, and I tell them that if the first answer you get, or multiple answers from somebody, isn't doing the job for you, go somewhere else. because there's help out there. You gotta pursue it. He's a great guy. He does a super job. And forgive me, this is why I'm in group. I can't control this kind of stuff. He's good. He's done a lot for us. I've been healed.
Well, there's a couple of examples of veterans that have utilized the services and got to the VA benefits that they so richly deserve. And it's great to be a part of that, getting them the help that they need for them and their family. And you know, there's a lot of people that really appreciate what you guys do, and that again is another prime example. Wayne, there was something that you wanted to say about that. You said you wanted to add to that a little bit.
Well, there's a prime example that I bring up quite often. You heard the one man mention that he had known for years the benefits he was entitled to, didn't know where to go, what to do. I had a Vietnam veteran come to the office about 6 months ago, and this is a common occurrence, especially Vietnam veterans. It's like at least once a month this happens. But I had a man call the office. He said, I'm trying to get into VA health care. I went there, they told me I made too much money, I can't get into VA health care. So I said, are you a Vietnam veteran? He said, yes. I said, well, you're entitled to enroll in VA health care. Just take your DD-214 showing your Vietnam service, and I told him how to get into VA health care. He had retired recently, lost his health benefits, so he wanted the VA health care. So I also asked him, I said, do you have diabetes? And he said, well, why do you ask? I said, well, I always ask Vietnam veterans if they have diabetes. He said, yeah, I do. I said, have you ever applied for compensation? He says, no, I didn't know I was entitled to. I said, well, you'll have to come into the office. We're going to file a claim for you, and we'll get you some benefits for your diabetes. I said, what did you do while you were in Vietnam? He said, well, I was a crew chief on a helicopter. I said, well, crew chief, you're on the helicopter. You fire the machine gun when you're on a mission, right? He said, yeah. I said, how's your hearing? He said, well, my hearing's bad. I said, well, we'll file a claim for you for hearing loss as well. I said, did you ever crash, ever get shot down? He said, yeah, we got shot down. We got shot up pretty bad. I said, you ever have any nightmares, any recurring dreams? He said, oh, yeah, every so often. I said, well, we'll talk about PTSD, too, when you come in here. So here's a Vietnam veteran. First of all, didn't know how to get into VA health care. Wasn't aware of any of the benefits. Not only did we get him into the VA health care, now we're going to get him some money every month for the rest of his life as well. And this is something we do. As you heard one man mention about Rick Avery, Rick does his job exceptionally. I like to think that our whole staff does it. We do it as a passion, not as a job.
That's true. And I've heard that comment from several people. You guys are very renowned for the professionalism that you bring to our organization. And again, I can't thank you enough. You know, some of the things that you guys do are instrumental in getting vets back on their feet. You know, the American Legion, we try and get veterans back into the swing of things, get them adjusted to from military life back into civilian life. And employment placement is extremely important. With the unemployment rates the way they are right now, getting a good job is hard to find. It's hard to find a good job right now. So, you know, the American Legion has a job fair coming up in the Rockford area, and we're going to be doing these in different areas in the state. Now, May 17th, this is a joint venture with the Illinois Department of Employment Security. It's going to be Tuesday, May 17th, 2011, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it's going to be at the National Guard Armory at 10451 North 2nd, Macejak Park, Illinois. If you need help getting a resume written, if you don't have a resume, you know, and you need one, please contact us. If we can get the contact information up there, contact us so we can help you and direct you where you can go to get assistance, even for something as a resume. You know, again, there's a lot of people out there that want to make sure that you get your employment, and you are entitled to a preference, especially when looking at any type of government job. There is a veteran's preference, and you are entitled to that. And that's another thing the American Legion does, is to to follow up on this and making sure that those preferences are being adhered to by all organizations. Now, the workforce that's coming back are the highest trained, the highly motivated, drug-free, cream of the crop Americans that are ready to go to work. And if you're an employer, please consider hiring a veteran, because they'll make outstanding employees for you.
Mark, I'd also like to add that we'll have a service officer at the job fair as well in order to assist any veterans that need help in that area.
Great. So you can get help from a service officer right when you go to the job fair and see what you need there too. There's a couple things going on around the state of Illinois. Another one is one for a program that is to help the ones that have given the ultimate sacrifice. If someone dies in Afghanistan or in Iraq or anyone since 9/11, we have something called the American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund. We, as an American Legion, take care of college expenses for the veteran's family while after they've deceased, obviously. If they've given the ultimate sacrifice, he's not around or she's not around to help get that money for them. So this American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund was made to help that family member go to college. And this is an outstanding program. Now, we're going to have an event March 25th, and it's going to be at the Armed Forces Career Center at 527 West Town Center Boulevard, Champaign, Illinois. This is a motorcycle run. If there's any veterans out there that ride, well, this is a good opportunity for you to ride. It's a great cause, raising money for the Legacy Scholarship. We want to see you there. Might be cold that day, might be raining that day, but there's a lot of them with thick skin. They're going to ride anyway. So if you're a vet, if you're not a vet, you can still help us with this and help raise money to make things a little easier for that family member. You know, there's so many things the American Legion does and questions that people have. And, you know, these guys are the ones that answer the questions. Visit your local American Legion, and if you don't get the answer that you were looking for, please get the number to call these guys. They're located all around the state, but these guys are from the Chicago office, so this hits home for Chicago. They're not far from here, where we're located right now shooting this. So please give them a call, and they can answer any questions you got pertaining to the American Legion and the VA and what they can do to help assist you. So is there anything you'd like to add, Wayne, before we sign off today?
Well, I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity to be here. We never have enough outreach. We try to do as much as we can to help get the word out, to talk to veterans, make them aware of what benefits they're entitled to. A forum like this is excellent. Hopefully we can reach more veterans. As I said before, we're there to help. That's what we do. Please take advantage of us and come and see us.
Ray, is there anything you'd like to add before we...
Absolutely. I give seminars at the VA hospital so that the patients on the wards, and there's two things I stress. One, if you have a question, ask it. There's no dumb question. Number two, file a claim. When in doubt, file the claim.
We want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. We want to thank you for joining us, and we want to say, if you're a veteran, we want to say thank you for your service, and God bless. Have a good night.